All right, what's up, everybody? Another episode of Smoking That Ish here for you, South Dakota's own marijuana show. All your marijuana needs, your marijuana questions answered. Just message me a question. I'll answer it. I'll answer it right now. Shoot me one. Texas. Boom. Gotcha. D Game 6923 on YouTube and D Game Podcast Studios. Thank you, as always, for allowing us to host the show. Weed Maps. Shout out just for being Weed Maps. Yeah. I can't even talk. So, any thoughts on the potential conspiracy theory podcast? Let me know if anybody is interested in that. I've been focusing, of course, on marijuana. Shout out Black Hills Cultivation in Rapid City and soon in Sioux Falls. Cloud9 Vape and Glass in Mitchell. They got some crazy new fucking glass pieces in there, dude. They got this one. It's Bart Simpson, but he's zombie Bart, and he's got a thing in his hand, like a little mushroom guy in his hand, and the thing he's holding in his hand is an actual little dab tool that you can take out and use. Completely wicked, among other things. Very, very nice pieces there. Shout out to Superior Buds. They are going to have Belushi's Farm very soon, possibly by the time this comes out. And it should be less than $40 an eighth there. So that'll be very nice. Good prices, as always. Shout out to the Tea Tree, where I went today to get some buds once again. Just a really nice place. I really like it, and it's close to the studio, so win-win. And then Pure Bliss halves and ounces are available at Superior Buds, but the zips already sold out. I'm sure they're gonna get more in, but when you see them in there, don't wait, get them, because they sell fast. And they have the Funyuns flower there too from Pure Bliss that is very, very stinky. DNG, the LaMelo, I know he told me it's melon terps and not lemon terps, but melon terps and citrus terps are very closely related, and that thing is throwing some serious citrus. So more power to the melon. And also, I probably don't have the most refined palate in the world, but I give you the gist. Pure Bliss, the pre-roll kings. Moonblow, dude. I had Moonblow. It was 27%. And when can I get more, Pure Bliss? Where's more Moonblow? Need it. It was magical. I mean, it smelled like Fruit Loops. And it had a fruity taste with like a funky, gassy finish kind of on it. I don't know, and it hits real hard, real fast, leaves you relaxed and euphoric, but they sold out the same day they got put out. So more Moonblow, Pure Bliss. If you see Moonblow in flower or pre-roll, dude, snag it up, because I can't wait to have it on the show. I would really like to get my hands on some of that. Sodak Selects released 4 new flavors: Hell's Bells, The Fizz, Rotten Strawberries, and Cookie Chem, dude. And they're still collabing with DNG, coming out soon. Unless that was it. I don't think so, though. And I got the Fizz, and I have to say I don't like the Fizz as much as I like the Mimosa. I feel like the Mimosa was better. It just tasted better. Just a better profile overall. But the Fizz is still good. Still tastes like weed. Very nice. It's not distillates, so even better. Distillates should pretty much be used in cooking, Dakota Green, check out the interview on Instagram if you haven't already. First time we went Instagram live on there. Only time so far. They're also getting into the card game. I had both the let's see, I talked about the Fizz. I had both the Turbo Diesel and the Gas Pack, and either one from Dakota Green will satisfy your gas craving. If you have a diesel craving, it'll satisfy your gas craving. Personally, I prefer the Turbo Diesel just because it hits a little bit harder, and it's just nicer, I think. I just think it's better. And then we got future tour of the facility of Dakota Green, Terp Ranch, etc. Hopefully in the works in the future. Can't wait to see you guys, see how you do it. Rare Earth, they got the Strawberry Twizzlers, the last of the batch, available only at Superior Buds. Comes in these awesome little silver thermos containers for both the eighths and the quarters. While supplies last there, get your hands on it, man. If you want one more taste before it's gone for a little bit, you better get in there and get it. Strawberry Gelato also coming soon, and big news, we will be having an interview with Rare Earth. They will be on the show September 3rd. All right, September 3rd. So they will be on the show, and then that means that episode will come out when, like the 6th. So they'll be on there, and then you'll be able to catch it. Yeah, right there, beginning of September. So we have that going on. People asked when we're doing part 2 of the thing with Coop. Well, we're basically just, whenever Coop wants to do it. He's a super busy dude, though. Very, very busy man. But I'd love to have him back on the show. It was a great time. I had a lot of fun. Talked about some personal shit I didn't intend on talking about, so that was nice to see some of that just naturally come out and everything. From the Hills, the Concentrate Killers. I had some Time Trip from them. Time Trip is good. There's nothing wrong with Time Trip. I didn't think there was anything spectacular about it. But for some reason, it did make me lose track of time. Like, I would lose track of a couple hours, man. Just end up just like zoning out and be like, oh, what do you mean it's 1 o'clock? That kind of shit. They are still the Moonrock Rockstars, dude. Killing it. I went back out after I had the Time Trip. I went back out and I got some Mandarin Sherbet. Some of the Sunrise Mandarin Sherbet dabs. Once again, delicious. The Super Lemon Haze, very good as well. All of that you should be going for. Pretty much they're running the concentrates right now. Not as far as like carts, but they're going to get in the cart game, and that'll be nice. Also, a future tour with them, hopefully in the works. We can get that, go down there, see what them guys are all about. Maybe even press a little bit of live rosin or something while we're there. Who knows? We'll see. That's sometime in the future. Can't promise you when or whatever or anything like that. But today on the show, let's see what else I got over here. I got my hands on an Afghan skunk from Pure Bliss that says it's only 6% THC, but it had a you know me, I like the higher THC content, or at least some powerful terps of some kind. But this Afghan skunk, 6%, actually packed a decent punch, dude. It for real packed a good punch for being only 6%. But it's 10% CBD too, so that might have been also where the nice high came from, because it might have taken away a lot of my inflammation and fucking pain and shit. So from, living life as a dumbass. So that was very nice. If you get your hands on some Afghan skunk or something, don't let the low percentage fool you on that. That is good stuff. Also, on top of the incredible Moonblow, dude, 27%, just incredible Moonblow that I want more of. I also got the garlic juice, which was a very powerful garlic. I mean, very powerful garlic taste. Almost makes you gag on it a little bit. I'm just not a huge fan of the garlic. I prefer more of the diesel taste if I'm going to go with stinky, disgusting, chem stuff. But this, if you're into the garlic taste, dude, this garlic juice will knock you on your ass too. 27, almost 28%, dude. It'll seriously, it packs a punch, and it smokes nice. It's nice and smooth. But the Moonblow to me was just a level above, dude. Level above that. I bought more of the Chem D from Pure Bliss. It's off our top 10 list. It got pushed off a while ago. But I got some more just because of the price, and it's good smoke. I mean, it's still good, nice nugs. Just with the choices and the flavors and everything that's out there, I'd prefer something, that's got a little bit more to it. So that's that. And then I told you I tried the fizz, and it's still, like I said, I'm still smoking it. I got it on there. It's not like it was fucking gross or anything. It just wasn't as good as the mimosa. And then today on the show, we're going to have From the Hills Super Lemon Haze on here. I got a gorgeous nug there that I saved out of an eighth, and that is 23%. 23% THC on that one. But it said everything's a hybrid. I don't even know if I'm going to pay attention to indica sativa shit anymore because everything's a flipping hybrid now. So, and I know I've been doing a lot of lemon, but something turned me on to like, and I know the one was a melon, not a lemon, but it still tasted citrus as fuck. Okay. It's not just me, other people also heavy citrus taste off of it. So, you're shooting for the melon. I don't know which melon, maybe just an overall melon taste, and I think that they'll get there more and separate themselves from the more citrusy taste of it. I feel like the future is bright for Dakota Natural Growers, of course. For pretty much everybody that we talk about on here, they are doing very well. Today, though, after this, Super Lemon Haze. Oh, shit. Before I tell you what we're doing today, the second time I'm fucking with you, I also picked up some, and this is From the Hills Super Lemon Haze. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is. And I picked up some, I wanted to get this last week, but I didn't have the cash to swing it. So I had to wait till this week, and I got this. I'm a big fan of maple and sweet honey, stuff like that. You know, I'm a big fan of that. And I got some maple dunks from fucking Pure Bliss Farms, dude. Shout out to the tea tree for this. It looks, there's like 4 very nice nugs in there and then a couple stragglies. But it looks very good. I smelled it while I was at the store. Heavy maple smell. This one's coming in at a 27.5%, dude. So a little bit on the heavier end. And it's of course it's a hybrid what else would it be? But that one is, we're going to be doing that later in the show. The lemon, I feel like I'm going to do this Super Lemon Haze pretty soon here because I could use a decent buzz, couldn't you? You know? But I'm going to grab this iced coffee real quick, so forgive me for the movement, whatnot, etc. Extra noises, crinkling bags. Oh, hopefully we're not out of focus after this. No, saved it. We're good. Get some delicious. I found this horchata flavored iced coffee at a Casey's gas station. It's not, it's your typical syrupy milkshake of a coffee thing, but the horchata is a nice touch. Fresh news in right now, currently live. Well, you're seeing it, a few days later, but live right now, currently, dun, 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 dun. Yes, so the smaller containers, the smaller silver thermos containers, for the rare earth buds that I was talking about earlier, the smaller ones look like they split like right in the middle, a little thermos thing about yay big. And then the quarters are a bigger thermos one where it looks more like a lid. It comes down the same distance as it does on the small one, but it doesn't split it in half. Splits it more into like a third. A third of the top is the lid. But they look very nice. I mean, they're very gorgeous containers. So shout out to Rare Earth. Can't wait to have them on the show. Talk about that. The tons and tons of strains that they are working on and coming out for such a small place. The guy sent me a message that I watched, that I looked at. I don't know. I looked at it probably 8-9 times, just read off all the stuff that's coming out there. And I don't want to release, a bunch of stuff because I don't, stuff people tell me I want them to tell on the show. The only one I was giving you was the strawberry gelatos coming out again because I know that is a personal favorite of both them and the customers. So that is coming out again. So I will be putting the strawberry gelato against the strawberry Twizzlers, which was our first 10 out of 10 perfect bud, dude. It was so good. So good. Still is. Superior buds. Apologize for any drink noises or anything like that. Today we're going to get into more terp talk, but it of course almost immediately leads away from terps and into something else. But I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep starting off searching for terpenes and stuff like that and just seeing where it leads. Today it led me into all kinds of stuff. It led me into what is it? Decarboxylation, which is basically making weed better using heat. It led me into that, which I'm going to get into pretty quick here. And then it also led me into like drying and curing and some other stuff that we'll get into later. So I'm going to run through this. Well, I'm not going to run through this. I'm going to go through this, share with you what I have learned. And then when I get to a certain spot in these notes, I'm going to go try this Super Lemon Haze because I want to try the Super Lemon Haze first. It has a nice uplifting, go get them kind of high to it. So I want to do that one first so I can, hit the second part running. I'll do probably decarboxylation first, and then later on we're going to talk about drying and curing. Okay, so here we go, getting into more terp talk. Monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes, two separate kinds of terpenes. You think monoterpenes, think lighter as far as weight goes. They weigh less. They're a little bit lighter, a little bit, and they're a little bit more of the lighter scents that you get off of marijuana. Some of the lighter terps are, and of course, I'm just covering marijuana terpenes. I'm not covering terpenes across all plants, or this show is going to get long and weird and very technical very quick. But some examples are like myrcene, limonene, or limonene, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce the pronunciations. If you want to tear me apart on those, this is going to be a fun one for you. And terpinolene is another example of a lighter weight monoterpene. They're responsible, like I said, for more like floral scents. Not just floral, also some light fruit, stuff like that. But some examples: geranium, rose, some jasmine is also a monoterpene scent. Kiwi and apple, just a few examples of some monoterpenes, lighter terpenes. And lighter terpenes, of course, they evaporate faster after the plant is cut. And that leaves the heavier terpenes there, or the sesquiterpenes. It leaves those terpenes there to not only influence the taste and aroma, but medicinal effects, etc., so on and so forth. Sesquiterpenes, heavier, thinking weight again, once again. Sesquiterpenes are heavier. A couple examples are caryophyllene and humulene. Just a couple examples of the heavier terps, and those are responsible for the more pungent scents. Like, let's say pungent like skunk, diesel fuel, musk, and then some of the more woody ones like tea tree, sandalwood, patchouli. It's more responsible for those, and those are hardier, more durable terps, okay? And like I said, those stick around when the other terps do not. But in doing this research, okay, that's as far as I made it with terpenes before it turned into another kind of research, because I can't just I can't go down. I don't know why. I don't have this ability to just go down, write something down, and come back to it later. I dive straight into it almost immediately. It makes for a very hectic way to research things. But hopefully you just ride it out with me, and we're gonna keep doing terp talks till we get to like real talking about terpenes, you know? Like because there's terpene talk coming out every day. Everybody's talking about terpenes. But I wanted to get into more, and this is not only am I gonna like stray off, but I'll let you know you can come with me. I'll show you how I strayed off the path, because in doing this research about the hardier, more durable terps, the sesquiterpenes and the monoterpenes, I found out I found this a University of Mississippi study revealed that dry curing and decarboxylation decrease the amount of monoterpenes by 55 to 85%, which I thought is a drastically high number. That is, you're losing minimum more than half of your monoterpenes, which is not good if you're trying to make, if you want your bud to keep those light scents. So since we don't have a cultivator or a guest on today, there's nobody to really bounce these questions off of that has a real understanding of it. So I'm just going to go on and answer my own questions, because of course this led me to go, what the hell is decarboxylation? I've never heard that word in my life. I've never heard of decarboxylation. So I was like, what the hell is that? And then that left me thinking, well, what exactly is drying and curing? You know, I know like to dry something out, and curing it, I imagine using some heat or something to dry it out further or something. I have no idea. So that now I'm questioning that as well, which leads me to how we are discussing decarboxylation and drying and curing today, because I am a scatterbrain and this is the road that it led me down. But we're still learning about marijuana, baby. We're still learning about it. We're still rolling down that path. And as far as I know, ABC is still free, baby. He's still free. He's out there. And also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, please, about this episode and more coming out, because I'm going to keep going. I don't care what happens or how many podcasts or anything come out. I'm going to keep going. And hopefully people enjoy the way that I do this. And I feel like some of you really enjoy it, so I'm going to keep going regardless. But back to monoterpenes, decarboxylation. Decarboxylation is basically making marijuana better by using heat. It controls the decaying process of the marijuana bud. It controls the decaying process so that the bud can go through the decaying process, which brings out some of those amazing terpenes and other stuff, just makes it really good, while keeping the bud from actually decaying. That's what decarboxylation is that's what it shoots for. That's what it does. And terpenes, once again, we're going to get off of decarboxylation almost immediately. And we're not going to get off of it, but we're going to go from talking about it to how to do it. Terpenes begin to break down at 310 degrees. Okay, so while you do heat, heat does bring out the terpenes and make the marijuana better. If you heat it too much, you can destroy the terpenes. And as we know, once you destroy terpenes, they're not coming back. So you can do this at home in your oven. You could do this because I know I've made edibles at home. This is for, of course, medical patients only. Anybody else watching this who's not a medical patient, you know, you're fucking doing something wrong. So, you can do this at home in your oven, okay? In your own oven. You want to keep your temps between 200 and 250. I would say probably closer to like 230, 235. 200 and 235, probably somewhere in there. But remember, when doing this, it's just like cooking meat, you know? Low and slow is the key. Low and slow is the key. And then, because that, you know, you want the terpenes to develop, but you don't want to kill them. And even low heat over a long period of time will kill off your terpenes. So your time will vary depending on temp, strain, elevation, you know, how well your oven works. But I would estimate a half hour ish, like that. Throwing that ish in there. And then I would estimate about a half hour and then just work from there. Like, you're going to find your own time, you know, that works for you. But you want to do it until your buds look like they're toasted. Not like, you know, burnt out or anything like that, but toasted, like compared to what they look like when you started. They should have some toasted spots on them, look nice, maybe nice brown areas, you know. And after you have that, you, of course, you can wait for it to dry up or wait for it to cool off, whatever. And then you grind it up using a food processor or a coffee grinder or whatever you got around the house that is either designated for marijuana use or properly cleaned prior to using it. So that way it's, you know, good. And a note here, if you want to grind it up so that it looks like a nice ground up mush mess thing. I don't know. I suppose it wouldn't be mush. It'll be very crumbly. So you want to grind it. It'll grind up really quick. So you don't necessarily need to powder it. But if you accidentally powder it, or if you choose to powder it, bless you. But if you accidentally powder it, which would most likely be my case, or if you intentionally powder it, you can use that powder the same way you would use like protein powder or something like that. You can put it in smoothies or yogurt or, you know, any number of other things you can use that stuff for. But after you grind it up and it's not necessarily a powder, you can use that to make your butter or your oil or anything else. And for purists, you know, I would throw it in and just leave it in, you know, the butter or whatever at this point when it's ground up like that and it's all like soft. It's because liquid's pretty much going to bind to it. And I mean, I suppose you'll end up with some chunks. When you make your butter and stuff, if you don't want the chunks, remember low and slow. You don't want to boil out any THC or anything like that. You just want to melt it in with the butter. And then you want to run it through like a cheesecloth or something, which you can get at any cooking place whatsoever. You run it through something like that, and you'll end up with like green looking butter or oil or vanilla or whatever it is you make with it. You can, you know, use any of those to make your own sort of weed marijuana cooking extract, you know, your medicine for whatever version you have it, you know, whatever works for you, really. And then, you know, you use it and just after that, you use it for cooking like you normally would, baking at normal temperatures, you know. You don't have to worry about it after that. And why don't you have to worry about that? Won't the terpenes break down after that? No, they won't, because the molecules of the butter and the oil and the vanilla, that whatever you use, it protects the terps. And if that doesn't protect the terps, then the water, the moisture in there will protect the terps, because water turns to a gas at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This is all Fahrenheit, by the way. All these temperatures are Fahrenheit. Water turns to a gas at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So the internal temperature of your brownies or cookies or whatever you're cooking the internal temperature won't rise above 212 as long as there is moisture in there. So as long as you don't overcook and burn the piss out of your edibles and stuff like that, you will have you'll have really good potent stuff that should work very well for you. And I'm actually going to cut it a little short here because like I said, I need to smoke. So I'm going to go try this super lemon haze. Actually, did I bring my bag down here? My black bag? No, I didn't bring it down here. Okay, so actually I'll probably take just a quick flash out while I go get my bag, all right? Just stop it for a second so I can dip out and go grab it. Oof. And I'm back. Look at that. Just like that. I'm actually going to I don't know, I suppose like spend more time with you guys breaking this down and like really looking at it, you know? We're starting to do like testing for the Smoke Shack, sound testing, quality and stuff like that. So we're going to be taking you with us very soon to the Smoke Shack. And you guys will actually be going with us when I test these out and, you know, see how good it really is in real time. But I feel like I've been neglecting you guys because I haven't been breaking it down, you know, getting the full smell, all of the, you know, all of the initial stuff. I can do everything with you guys currently right now, except for smoke. I cannot smoke in here. But like I said, that is coming extremely soon. Sooner and sooner by the day. I have, of course, my Naruto Hitachi chopstick here, which I use to stuff blunts or cones or whatever, what have you, sir. And then dun, 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 dun. Today I got that's some ground up stuff that I don't need. And today you guys may be going on the painful journey of watching me roll a joint, actually. Which is going to be, sorry about not talking on the mic there, but it is going to be both comical and wonderful. I stopped rolling for a really long time because I had busted my hands so many times that I couldn't really, or I didn't think anyways that I could roll anymore, that I was capable of it. But after I had Charlie on the episode here, and seeing how just like monstrously destroyed that man's hands are, and then seeing him roll all these beautiful things that he rolls, I felt like there was no excuse for me not getting back into it and trying to roll. So you're gonna watch me roll a sad joint, but damn it, you're watching a man from the ground up, dude. So we have, of course, Tsunami Grinder, lifetime guarantee. Shout out Tsunami. We have From the Hills Super Lemon Haze Flower. We're going to check this out here. A little bit more irritating coffee noise. I bought an eighth from Superior Buds. Shout out. Love that smell it leaves in the jar. Very nice. And I saved the nicest nug out of the bag like I always do. And this is I mean, it sparkles in the light, so you know it's got beautiful terps on it. It's frosty. A very nice level of frostiness. A couple different shades of green, which is very nice. The little orange hairs all over the place, everywhere. But they're not like protruding little orange hair. They're more like laid on the bud. Very nice. Not an incredibly strong smell, honestly. definitely smell the lemon, but it's not so much powerful as the nug. You know, you smell the lemon, but it's like an earthy type smell. Very you break it when you break it open and you look at it. It's you think it's sparkly on the outside. The inside is much more sparkly, and I know doing this with hands is almost sacrilegious, but I don't have gloves. So I'm going to just do this and suck on my fingers afterwards like an animal. But the inside of it, all the way down to the stem, is fuzzy. Very, very nice terps. Nope, still not a super strong smell. Maybe I got the Covey, who knows? But not a super strong smell there. I mean, you start to get into it, you really start to get that smell more and more as you tear down into the nug. And then, of course, I'm going to grind it up and give it all just a recap, like a recheck, you know? Check it back out. Oh. Bam. That is sticky icky. Regardless of what it ranks or whatever, this is sticky for sure. Sticky icky bud right here. Sticky icky sticky nugs. Wonderful problem to have, really. I like to try and get out all the stems because, like I said, I can't roll for shit. So when I do roll one of my embarrassing joints and stuff, and I inevitably have to like either stuff it or cut one of the ends off because it's so tight you can't hit it. I like there not to be a lot of stems because last thing I want to do, and then I drop that whole stem in there. It's gonna ruin everything. No, I don't know where the hell it went. But I try to keep all the stems. I don't think it went in here because I'd see that big fucker. But I try to keep all the stems and everything out of it because last thing I want to do is spend all this time rolling my fucking dog shit looking joint and have it pop a hole, you know? So this is a big nug. Definitely decent enough size nug to roll a good joint out of it. And I cleaned I cleaned this grinder out at home, you know, gave it a good scraping, a good cleaning out there. So I don't want any, you know, any mixture going on in here. And then, there it is. There it is. There's the, okay, that's nice. That's nice. That is, that smells almost like, wow. That is, it's just a really nice, you can almost smell the smoothness. I don't know how to describe that, but you can almost smell how smooth this is or how smooth it is going to be because, sorry if I keep bumping this. I'll take the hat off after this, but I just wanted to wear it for a little bit. Blocks this light out on the ceiling, and I enjoy that. But I can see how it is causing difficulties. Here's that giant stem over here, just so you know, it's not in there. All the people sitting at home going, "You gonna break things?" Exactly how you talk. Shut up. Just kidding. I'm just joking, just playing. Come on now. We're all friends here. We're all buddies. Now, the only reason I would ever do this in front of y'all is because we are friends, okay? I would not do this in front of somebody that I felt worried about how they were going to criticize me. I mean, not that I don't worry that you guys, you know, that your needs are being met as viewers, but I don't feel like you guys are going to tear my fucking head off for not being able to roll a decent joint. Also, in my defense, for a lot of my more adult life, I have always been with a woman or around women who rolled my joints or blunts or stuff like that for me. So, not to sound like a fucking pig, but yeah. So I haven't really had the need to roll my own stuff or been forced to, really. I used to roll my own cigarettes when I was younger. But rolling tobacco and rolling marijuana are completely different. At least they were back in the day. Now I suppose weed's probably fluffy like tobacco kind of, but it's not the long leaves like tobacco is. You know, once you get tobacco wrapped up in something, it intertwines and shit, and it's all wrapped together, and it all ends up real pretty and real nice. Once again, I'm touching this all with my fingers just to break your hearts a little bit more, just to hurt your feelings. Now, how's it feel? Yeah, you like that? No, I just don't have gloves. The love gloves are not here for this. So I'm going to put a decent amount of this in here because I'm trying to get, I'm not shooting for anything like super big or spectacular or perfectly straight. Trust me, is not in the agenda today. I am shooting for, able to be lit on one end and smoked from the other end. That's what I am shooting for today with this joint. God, this is more stressful, honestly, than being on camera and doing the show. This stresses me out way more because I'm a general goofball. I've always been a goofball my whole life. So turning it on and stuff when a camera's in front of me is, I don't want to say it's like easy, but it feels almost more natural, I guess, than like doing this, because if you haven't figured it out yet, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing here. And I know you got to roll it down. You got to tuck it nice. Tuck baby in nice. Baby wants a nice nap. You got to tuck it in properly. And this is going to be a thinner one because, like I said, I'm not trying to improve. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to roll something smokable. Lick it. And then stick it. Come back, fix the middle like I always got to. But basically there you have like a joint you would see on like a movie or TV thing, you know, just kind of shitty looking. They always use the thick white paper for some reason though. I don't know who in the fuck rolls with notebook paper, but apparently back in the day people used to all the time. And I'm stuff these ends in. Oop, there it is. Found the loose spot because I knew there would be one, and there it is. Okay, so I got that loose spot. This has now become the end I will light. This other end will be the end I shalt smoketh out of. Just to make sure it's snug in there. Don't want any excess crap falling out. We got a little bit stuck here on the end. In between, see this, the bud is really good because it's sticking to the outside of the paper. Like it's sticking to the outside of the paper, so I can't get it like bam down in there. Get down in there, fool. That's your home. Don't you want to go to your home, stupid ball? All right, and I got that in there, so I'm gonna twist this end up, save any little bit of marijuana in there that I can. Give it a little shake, tighten it up a little bit. Bam. There you go. There's my shitty joint that I rolled up. But I'm going to go test this out, okay? I'm going to go try this out, and I'll be right back to let you know how good it is, man. Thank you for watching Smoking That Ish, baby. All right, everybody, I'm back. That Super Lemon Haze was, it was a good smoke. It was a nice, uplifting smoke. It's a very good start your day, get some shit done smoke. It didn't offer anything, mind-blowing in the forms of taste or smell or anything. It didn't really change the world or anything. It's a good smoke, but if you're gonna go Super Lemon Haze, go for the concentrates, dude. The concentrates is way more where it's at. It almost kind of ruined the flower for me, really. It's gonna debut at a 10 on the list, knocking Thug Rose from Dakota Green from last week off the list. Like I said, the list is getting pretty beefy, dude. I mean, you really got to have something. We got Strawberry Twizzlers at number 1. From Rare Earth, we got Flapjacks from Dakota Natural Growers at number 2. Lemon V from Belushi Farms at number 3. LaMelo from DNG, Dakota Natural Growers, also at 4. Dakota Cookies from the Hills, number 5. Lemon OG Do-Si Do, DNG, number 6. Bahama Berry from Cannonauts, number 7. Roast Mellow from the Hills at number 8. Mad Honey from Pure Bliss at number 9. And at number 10 now, Super Lemon Haze from the Hills. It's a pretty biased list, looking like it anyways. Like, a lot of DNG, a lot of From the Hills on there. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a biased list because it's just my opinion, but man, they're really taking over the list there. They've had a lot of kinds, a lot of different strains come out, pretty steady flow. I mean, they deserve it. Everybody on the list deserves to be where they're at. They have earned it. So that being said, dun 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 dun. Going back to where I was. Going back more to I know I got off of the whole decarboxylation thing. But once you find out you can do it at home, I mean, that tells you that. And then I'm sure that the dispensaries and stuff have more advanced ways. We'll probably come back to decarboxylation at some point in time in the future. But right now we're going to focus on, and we did all that. We covered all how to do it at home and everything. Now we're going to focus more on drying and curing. Not so much drying, because drying is pretty self-explanatory, pretty short. But curing, really. Drying and curing is the make or break point for your marijuana plant. Okay? Drying is where you hang your plants up and you let them dry. It dries off. What drying does is it gets those surface layers of moisture off of your buds. Okay? That first little bit, it lets that dry off. And that can take anywhere from like 7 to 10 days, depending, you know. And then that's pretty much it for drying. You really get into curing. And I made a mistake when I was talking about decarboxylation earlier. Decarboxylation is not the part with the decomposition and the control of that. That is curing. Curing is where the magic happens. It's where your little plant becomes a strong, illness-fighting medicine. It's where it really steps up. Curing, what it does is it dries the deep layers of the bud, and it controls decomposition while keeping the bud from actually decaying. And you can think about it like aging a fine wine. You know, when you age a wine, you're really allowing the flavor and the aromas to develop. You know, and you're doing the same thing with your nugs, with your bud, with your strains, with your sweet, sweet marijuana medicine. All right? You're doing the same thing. Now, curing can vary depending on everything from strain, environment, to personal flipping preference, really. Even like when you harvest has a big deal to do with how long it's going to take to cure. Apologize for drinking on the mic, but whatever. Who cares? Moving on. Curing can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months. And I know there's guys out there going to be like, but there's this strain, man. It takes like 9 months to do. I'm saying on average, in general, 2 weeks to 6 months. And what does curing do? Why is it so important besides the complicated decomposition / not decomposing thing? Because curing eliminates chlorophyll. And I know what you're thinking if you're growing plants. You know anything about growing plants and stuff. I know what you're thinking. But, Martimus, isn't the chlorophyll important for the plant? Doesn't the plant need the chlorophyll? Yes, you're correct. But Chlorophyll, sorry for the bag noise too. I was going through a lot of notes on this. Chlorophyll is the plant's lifeblood while it's alive and growing, but it also makes your marijuana medicine taste and smell like fresh cut grass. And also, chlorophyll is responsible for a lot of the harshness you get off of your marijuana. It comes from remaining chlorophyll. So if you've ever had a strain that was really nice, but it was like super harsh to smoke, it's because it probably wasn't cured properly. Okay? So, yes, so the harshness that you experience when smoking, curing also by getting rid of the chlorophyll and stuff minimizes the acidity. I don't know if that's through the chlorophyll, but it minimizes the acidity in your throat as well. So how much it burns your throat is also has to do with curing. And it, of course, improves medicinal benefits and potency of your marijuana medicine. So now we're going to talk a little bit about home drying and curing. Okay, first off, if you are growing at home and you are going to home trim, if you are going to home harvest, make sure you come equipped. All right, come equipped. Come with, make sure you got your pruning shears and your snips. Yes, they are different. Pruning shears, you use those to cut off like the branches, bigger, things like that. And the pruning snips are used more often to remove like the leaves from buds or damaged areas from the leaves, etc. So bigger ones are shears, smaller ones are snips. Make sure you got both. Make sure you got gloves. You are not going to want this sticky stuff all over your hands. And if you get it, don't forget, you can always try rolling the resin around in your gloves and on your hands and stuff, getting those nice hash balls and stuff like that. So don't forget to do that. Don't be wasteful. Of course, we don't want to be wasteful at all. And make sure when you get gloves, don't get like dishwashing gloves, those thick rubber ones, or like big welding gloves or some dumb shit like that. Big construction glove. Get like latex gloves, disposable gloves, or if you're allergic to latex, some other variant of that, but get those, use those for sure. Those are better. Use those ones. Make sure you have a nice big area to, and places, to put your plant waste in case you want to separate, stems and leaves and all that stuff. Whatever, just make sure you have a big area, probably like the kitchen table or a big folding table and on the couch in front of the TV, do that. Watching your favorite podcast, and you're also going to need rubbing alcohol for periodically cleansing your utensils and a rag, of course. And it's going to be time consuming and it can get boring. So like I said, why not kick on your favorite podcast when you're getting ready to do some trimming and harvesting and whatnots. So you're going to, the nice big area, rubbing alcohol, keep your tools nice and clean. And also, the smell it could be an issue because it is going to smell strong. And when you start cutting up all that plant matter and stuff like that, it is going to get real smelly. So think of maybe cracking a window, turning on a fan, or if you love the stink, if you love the dank smell of it, just sit in it and bask in it and enjoy your house smelling like that for a while. You're a med patient. If you're watching the show and you're doing this, you're a med patient. So do you, man. Step 1, home harvesting. This is a super easy step. All you have to do is harvest your plant at the exact perfect time. Not too early and not too late. And that varies depending on strain and any number of other fucking irritating issues. And that, so you're not going to find a perfect time for everything. It all varies. It's all different. You just got to learn by messing up or watching other videos on how to grow specific strains and stuff like that. But doing that, harvesting it at the perfect time, maximizes your trichome growth and development. And as we all know from previous episodes, trichomes help produce all the goodness that is in your marijuana. So you want maximum trichome growth, but not overdone and not too soon. It's thin line. So that's step one. Super easy. Step one. Step two, after, of course, you have dried, I'd assume you hang and dry on the stem still. At least most people I've seen do. So you hang it and dry it after you trim it at the perfect time. Hang it and dry it 7 to 10 days, whenever you think it's ready. And then step two, you're going to cut a branch off of that with your shears, and you are going to separate the buds from the main stem as gently as you possibly can, as to preserve as many terpenes as possible. So you're doing that. Step two, separating them. You're just going through, snipping very carefully. I hate these videos on Instagram and stuff where people are looking at the buds, dropping them on the tray, dropping them back in the bag. You're just shaking off all the terps, dude. Like, quit it. It's annoying as shit. Knock it off. So make sure you're being very careful. The distance it drops, everything, all is a factor in how many terps you can save. And every single terp matters, because that's going to be full effectiveness of your end product. So step three, trim off any leaves that protrude from the bud. So from the flower. So you're going to want to trim the leaves. Most of the time at this point, you should have by hand pulled off any fan leaves, the bigger classic marijuana looking leaves. You should have pulled those off. Or if anything, you're going through and you're pulling those off right now, snagging those, getting those off of there. And then those are the classic looking pot leaves. Those are called fan leaves. Pull those off by hand. And then the little leaves you trim off of the buds themselves, the flower, the little leaves that you trim while being very careful. You trim those as close as you can. Just flush. Don't over fucking trim, dude. It's not that big of a deal. You just have to cure longer if you don't, get every last little piece of leaf. The little leaves you trim off are called sugar leaves. So that's the difference between the big fan leaf and the little sugar leaves. It's a big step. So while I said don't over trim, you don't want to go nuts. You do want to make sure you get as much off as you safely can, because boom. The leaves contain more chlorophyll than the buds do. And what do we know about chlorophyll? Chlorophyll creates harshness. Yes. So we don't want the leaves on there with the extra chlorophyll. As much of the leaves as you can get off is preferable, because it will lower the harshness of your end product. It is a big step. And then by then, there you go. You got your nugs, by then there's more to curing after that. I would assume there's more curing and stuff that goes on after that, but I've gotten you that far down to where you have your nugs, and then you can go ahead, jar them up, burp them, or whatever you got to do to, do them more. I'm not sure how long-term curing works, but that is a subject for another day, because we will get further into that when I do more research on terpenes, which never ends up really being too much about the terpenes themselves. But man, are we not learning a lot, all right? We're learning a lot about the plants, about doing some stuff at home. It's very nice. Saves money, saves time, increases the quality of all your edibles and products that you have for your marijuana medicine. And all in all, I think it's a great idea. Now, what I'm about to do here is I'm going to pop this Maple Dunks, an eighth of Maple Dunks, 27.5%. Maple Dunks, where are you going to go on the list? Huh? Now, I'm a fan of maple and, maple, honey, etc., so on and so forth. I am a big fan of those. So I imagine this maple will score high on because notice that Flapjacks was pretty high on the list. Flapjacks and strawberry Twizzlers, which you might hate me for this, but those are both things you can have with pancakes. So, and while one is fucking pancakes, I'm a dumbass. One is pancakes, but the other one goes on pancakes. So I can see why those two are up on the top of the list because I like food. But at the same time, they're because they smelled and tasted strong like what they were advertised. That's another thing. And the smoothness of the smoke, etc., so on and so forth. With the high, if it's honestly, I like higher end, hard punchy shit, but if it punches too hard, it's not going too high on the list because if it debilitates you, and knocks you out, well then that limits it from being an all-day smoke and now it has become now it has a time and a place. The smokes that are going to be the strains that are going to be more on the top of the list here are going to be ones that you can smoke all day or any time because the more useful, the more often you can smoke it and the more helpful it is, let's say for you, the better it's going to be if you can smoke it all the time. If it's one that really works, but you can only smoke it at night before you go to bed, well, then it has a time and place. And that's going to lower it on the charts, even though it will be effective for that. So, I don't know. The list is, of course, influenced by my personal preference. And none of this weed is wasted, of course. It is just simply being pushed to the side. I put all of my weed in this nice little jar, this tea tree jar, whatever's left over when I roll a joint or whatever, stuff like that. I put whatever's left over in this little jar. And then I fucking jiggle this jar around a little bit and, dump that out when it gets full and start rolling out of that. It has no name, but I found that when you mix, this is something else that will potentially be coming down the road. If I ever get tired of strains like that, we're going to start, we might start doing it on the show. That might be ways down the road, but, mixing and matching different strains based off of their terpenes and their medicinal effects, inevitably we're going to end up not only crossbreeding them, but we're going to end up mixing our own strains at home based on the type of effect or the disorder you're treating. So, man, that smells... my girlfriend, Boo Bear, as I call her, Boo Bear. Send me all the shit you want on that. I like the unique naming. Boo Bear likes to eat this cereal called fucking Waffle Crisp, dude. And this bag smells like Waffle Crisp, dude. That is a very good sign. And I'm going to take, of course, the biggest, nicest nuggy nug out of that, and we are going to look at it. And my goodness, dude, it definitely is, on looks alone, it is going to rank higher than the Super Lemon Haze. For sure. I imagine this is going to rank higher because it is multicolored nug. I mean, you got dark, almost purplish looking colors, not necessarily purple, but dark colors mixed in with the light greens to an orange and stuff like that. There's a couple little sugar leaves on here, but man, they are covered in some stuff. They are just, yeah. Oh, very nice. Wow, you can almost kind of taste the maple yeah, you can definitely taste like a brown sugary sweetness almost. Just even if you just eat a little piece of it, jeez. But this is far more sparkly. Um, very well coated. The Maple Dunks, of course, from Pure Bliss. It's a much better looking nug, or not nug, but a much better looking strain. Just better looking all around. I'm going to take some of these smaller ones now, which are, I'm not shitting you, equally as pretty, equally as coated and gorgeous and nice looking. I mean, they are beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take a few of those. Maybe save a little bit for later. Yeah, for sure. Apologies for the creepy voice, but save a little bit of this for later. Put it where I had my Super Lemon Haze, because I'm not really a pot snob. I don't care if they mix in the jars or whatever. The Super Lemon Haze is all ground up now, and it's going to go in the special jar of amazing wonderfulness. And then this is going to get ground up here. These are, like I said, really beautiful nugs. Really good bag appeal. Unfortunately, it does come in a bag, not in a jar. That is one mark against not the bud itself, but it does make it harder to get the appropriate quality of it, you know? Because the bags always... I feel like bags are bad, man. You can cut a bag in half. You can see the terps that stick to the inside of the bag. It's never good, man. It's any lost terpenes, as we all know, and especially as we've learned today, any lost terpenes is bad, man. You want to save every little scrap of terpenes you can get. I am delaying opening this because I think it's going to smell amazing. So I'm like delaying the inevitable opening of this. But here we go. Wow, that has not so much mapley, a little sweet, but very floral and nice punch to it. You still have the sweetness in there, but I almost you almost lose a little bit of maple, almost, maybe. But between the bag and the ground up nug, I feel like there's a little loss of the maple, but there's still the sweetness in there. This is intriguing. It's very nice. I wonder how it's going to taste when it smokes, because as you know, if it has a great smell, but it doesn't match that smell with the taste, well, then it's probably going to fall pretty far down the list, just considering that. And once again, I am going to roll for you. First time ever I've ever let anybody publicly know that I suck at rolling. So if you're out there and if you're a buddy out there like me and you have trouble rolling despite being a lover of marijuana for years or even just months, you're just starting out, whatever. Dude, I feel you, man. I feel you. Don't worry. You get there. They get better. It slowly gets better. And anybody who wants to make fun of you for rolling like a pregnant looking joint or a shitty looking joint is just being a shitty person anyways, you know? Unless it's a friend just giving you shit, you know, that's love. But, you know, if anybody's honestly ripping on you or wants to try and say that you're less somehow because you can't roll a big fat fucking joint like some other people can, dude, that's just lame. Comparison is the thief of joy. I heard that from Pure Bliss. Comparison is the thief of joy. But I do a show where I compare marijuana strains. So I have to do comparisons, but I do my comparisons lovingly and with a general sense of I want everyone to succeed as much as they possibly can. Obviously, not everyone can be number one. You know, not everyone can be the best of the best, but everyone can be in the ball game and on the right path. And if not being number one, you know what I would really like to see? I'd like to see a fluctuation year by year based off of you know, whose shit is hot that year, you know, and have it turn into something like that where it's like fucking number one this year, fucking, you know, rare earth. And then next year have it be like fucking, you know, any other company. You know, they all of a sudden they figured out something and they're really stepping up and producing a one of a kind, this and that. And, you know, I hope it fluctuates all over the place. I hope it doesn't stay as just one company on top. I don't want that. Nobody wants that, I think. We would all love to see variety and therefore improvement through competition. Just like natural growth in business is supposed to work. You want to see the same thing. But I would like to see it on a mass scale in South Dakota marijuana. Because some people are getting greedy. And some people are just trying to turn a buck as fast as they can. And they genuinely don't give a shit about you and me. And they just want to make their money. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows who the fuck I'm talking about. But you see me going to Superior Buds and you see me going to the Tea Tree. And, you know, I don't vary out much because everybody messes with these people that I think shouldn't be messed with yet. I think they should be punished. Not only however they have been punished so far, but punished not so much like court-wise, but punished by us. Because they showed us that as customers, as consumers, as medicinal users, we don't matter. Our safety is not important. Selling us what you say you're selling us doesn't matter as long as it messes us up, which is incorrect. That's not medicine. And I think what they did was wrong. So yeah, you might see me only going to a few choice dispensaries for a while because I don't, it's nothing like I'm not like you noticed I'm not bringing up the company's name or anything like that because I'm not trying to spread negativity or anything. But my personal belief is I don't feel comfortable supporting them with my money. And at that rate, it really makes me question how much these dispensaries and stuff, certain ones, how much they care about you as a customer by just not even, there's no punishment at all on our level. You just get to get right back in the game and everybody just is cool with it. And I just can't do it. Okay. I can't just be cool with it because I feel like what they did was wrong. I feel like it was greedy and I feel like it was untrustworthy and I feel like it wasn't fair. And, people are acting like as long as they get their piece, as long as they get their money, they don't really care what happens to us. And that's not cool. Okay? As we're medicinal smokers. We use this as medicine. And if regulations and stuff like that go out of whack or if things become unorganized due to greed or money and we start getting somehow tainted or less quality or people just don't care what we're putting in our lungs, that could be completely detrimental to this whole thing. So I, for one, I'm not saying I'm never going to buy their products again or I'm never going to shop at another place that sells their stuff. I'm not dying on this hill. I'm just saying me personally right now, I'm not comfortable. Personally, me, I'm not comfortable buying their products. And I'm kind of uncomfortable going to places that are just jumping right back in without thinking about it or finding out any facts. They just find out that some old stock they have that can be sold again and they just throw it right back out. They don't even care. And that hurts my feelings as a consumer, as a customer. That hurts my feelings. But enough of this downer shit. I don't know why. I feel like I can talk to you guys, you know? You guys don't really talk back. I mean, you do in the comments and shit, do I appreciate you guys. It's really fun actually learning even the stuff that, makes you guys mad is fun to hear. Any chance to make this better or to make it come across the way I mean for it to come across. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go try out this Maple Dunks, dude. Look at this joint, man. I have rolled messed up joints at home for days, and I come here and I rolled 2 for you guys, and I got 2 decent, nice looking joints, dude. See, you guys are supportive even when you're not here, man, and I appreciate you. I'm gonna go try out this Maple Dunks from Pure Bliss, dude. And just the name is killer, man. But I'm gonna go try this out, and then I'm gonna come back, tell you about this Maple Dunks, and we're gonna look at some of our comments. Kind of, some of the comments have been responded to already on Instagram or YouTube or whatever the hell. They've already been responded to, and I don't really think I have too many comments on Instagram, honestly. I think it's just YouTube. But yeah, so we'll talk about some of those, and then I'll get out of your face for another week, all right? But thank you. I appreciate you. And coming up in a second, Maple Dunks. All right, welcome back, man. I gotta say, the Maple Dunks, while being a good smoke, it wasn't anything mind-blowing or incredible, really. I might just go back to doing one strain on an episode just to really like focus on it, because neither one of these strains today was really like life-changing. If you're gonna smoke Super Lemon Haze, get you some concentrates, bro. Concentrates where it's at, dude. I mean, but if you want to experience it without spending the money on the concentrates, I suppose you can. You'll get the experience of it, but it's a much better experience from the concentrates, I think. Equally uplifting. I mean, it's a good go get them, let's go get some shit done high. It was, but the top 10's just full of killers, murderers, dude. The Maple Dunks, while being maple and being good, it's not on the level of like, let's say like a Flapjacks. It's not the same as so it's not up there. So then it's not going to be as good as a Lemon V. And then it is a nice all-day smoke. Well, no, that would be the lemon one. This one, it's not a bad smoke by any means. It's just not as... For somebody who loves maple, I didn't get my maple fix from it, Like, I felt like there would be more maple to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting spoiled by this list. But I felt like it would be below like a Mad Honey, because Mad Honey from the same company, I liked Mad Honey more. I thought Mad Honey was better, but Mad Honey's all the way down to 9 on the list. So in order to like put this on the list, I'd have to put the Super Lemon Haze out. But the Super Lemon Haze has that uplifting go get 'em high. So if anything, this would debut off the list. It would debut at a number 11. Okay, because while like Thug Rose, which was at number 11, Thug Rose had a really good smell when you ground it up. It had just a nice, really nice smell. But it didn't have much for taste. Maple Dunks was the same kind of issue. It doesn't punch me in the mouth with that maple taste that I wanted. I want it to just punch you right in the mouth like a maple glazed donut, like I want it to hit. And it just didn't. I felt like it didn't deliver for me. And I don't know, maybe I'm just getting stuck up because of all the options and all the crazy madness, but I felt like with the Super Lemon Haze, I felt like their roast mellow from the Hills was better. It tasted, and that's better than the Maple Dunks too, because it tasted like roasted marshmallows. This Maple Dunks, I don't know why, it just didn't hit it for me. And like I said, I might go back to doing just one strain per episode, and maybe like a nice pre-roll or something, but just one solid strain an episode, and just, I don't know, really getting into it, maybe smoking it more than once, maybe going out and trying it a couple different times, So like buy 1/8 for the show and just like when we take breaks, go out and smoke that same stuff and get varying opinions of the same thing, you know? Maybe get a more thorough flavor profile and, you know, become more in touch with the high that it gives. Um, yeah, you know, so from now on, I might just go back to doing one strain, just because I feel like it's not fair to just pile all these strains in here, and I feel like I'm not giving them all their well awarded due. You know, like I'm not experiencing them fully. Sometimes I even get like more ideas about it when I go home and smoke some more. I get more ideas about it or a clearer idea about it after the show. And that's not right, you know. So that's going to debut off the list. But from now on, we're going to do one strain at a time. So, yeah, I just feel like that would be more honest, more truthful to you guys, you know. That's one of my main concerns is staying true to you guys and honest, not being influenced by outside influences. Somebody you can trust, at least if that's what I say, that's honestly what I think, you know. Want to be that dude. Herbs, South Dakota. First person to come with some, you know, not straight positivity, but and not that he was coming negative, but he was not happy about the episode that we did last week when he first watched the first parts of it. But he toughed it out. He watched the rest of it. Might just not have been a show, you know, for you, that particular one, because some people, yeah, hearing about hard drugs and stuff like that and not just hearing about them in the most negative context can throw it off. But for somebody who's been there, I mean, as a drug addict, you do have unique, strange experiences. It's just when you balance that against the level of traumatic, horrible things you have to go through to have these, you know, 2 or 3 fun stories or whatever that you have, the weight differential is not even comparable. And also just talking about past stuff is difficult, you know, especially for me. I have issues with it. I haven't been on Instagram and that, you know, as much this week. I apologize to everybody, but was struggling with like some depression for no reason. Just really having issues this week. So, but still coming out, putting out a decent amount of show. I mean, still booking some interviews, getting people in where they can get in, you know. The more the merrier. I love talking to people and doing interviews. I think that's my favorite part of this show. And possibly more different shows to come in the future. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing this. Just means I might start doing more. All right. You know, if anything I said has bothered you or offended you or hurt your feelings or made you feel any particular kind of way, just remember, you can't be mad at me for what I said when I was smoking that ish. You guys take care of yourselves, all right? We'll see ya.